If you're looking for a new pack this season, you really might want to consider the Eberlestock Modframe. Now, this pack came out as kind of a surprise to me. These guys have been making packs for a long time, but this is the first one I've tried on that I like. Now, I'd say the biggest upgrade is the suspension system. It looks more like a Stone Glacier or any other high-end pack that you see where you've got the two individual shoulder straps, a nice size lumbar, and then nice beefy hip belt that is a single wraparound piece. There is a meat shelf in between the pack and the frame that actually has a sling in it, so it holds weight pretty well. And then they have two bag options. You've got the Brooks 3500 and the Brooks 7000. The two bags themselves are going to be pretty dang similar, so I won't go into too many details about the 7000. So you're going to be looking at one large horseshoe zipper, and then you've got no internal pockets on the front, but you have one internal pocket on the side here, hydration pouch, and another pocket on this side, as well as an internal bag that comes with it. And then on the front, you've just got two stretchy pockets on this face. On one side, you have a spotting scope pocket that's going to be large enough to fit just about any spotter. And then the other side just goes straight to your water bottle pouch here. It does have a roll top as well, so you can expand this pack up quite a ways and fit some extra gear. One thing I always look for in a bag is organization and then how well it compresses. So I think this pack does really well with organization. This is very similar to one of my favorite bag layouts. And then it also seems to compress pretty well. So when you're talking about this as being a day pack, if you don't have a ton of gear in it, it's gonna still feel very small and nimble. Now, the frame itself is going to be aluminum tubing, and it goes in kind of a upside or a U shape here. And then there is also polycarbonate stays that go across and keep this frame fairly rigid while also allowing for some flex, which I actually like personally. I like to feel the pack move with me just a bit while still being rigid. We'll go through this a little more in depth. Starting from the top, your load lifter height is good here. So that's what a lot of packs, especially their old ones, I feel like got wrong, is the load lifters were too low down. So these higher load lifters provide a lot more stability and they're very useful. Nice handle here. And then you have a good curvature to the actual shoulder strap. So that's gonna push it around your neck so it's not rubbing up on the edge of your neck here. The padding is soft, breathable, but still plenty adequate. I think they nailed that in between of not being too thin, but also not being too thick with their padding. They do have a center strap that loops all the way around, so it's not going to pull this strap in. It's actually going to pull the whole strap into your torso. The adjustment is pretty simple. You just undo this Velcro, slide it up, down, twist it in and out as you need, and then moving on to the lumbar pad. It's plenty big, plenty deep. And for myself, I think I'll actually end up trimming it down just a bit on the lower end. The waist belt has ample padding, and it is also big enough, in my opinion, without being too big. So it's not gonna hit your hip flexors, but it's gonna have good coverage right on that crest of your hip bone. We'll go into the meat shelf real quick, which in my opinion is where a lot of packs go wrong, is they make it too difficult to get to their meat shelf. I think Eberlestock does a pretty good job. They do have a zipper on the side, and I believe that's just so that they can be compatible with all of their other packs, some of their older styles. I'm not totally sure that the zipper is necessary, but it does keep the bag in place. So you've got your sling here. That can add a little bit of weight, but I think it's a necessary move. I appreciate that when you're carrying a quarter or loose neck meat or something. It really helps keep the weight up high on your back. Underneath it, you also have two more straps to keep that quarter secured. So overall, I'd say load shelf access is good, and then it also has really good options to secure meat to the frame. One more mention is that these side straps can actually be moved up or down. These clips are loose, and they have extra tabs sewn in here and here, so you can customize this pack as you need. Now, as far as my use with this pack, obviously this one's still brand new. I haven't used these packs on an actual hunt, but I have walked around with 90 pounds in them on some local trails, and I have a couple thoughts. Now, first off, this is gonna feel like a more rigid frame. So it's gonna feel a little more similar to the initial Ascent pack than it will to the Stone Glacier pack, say. And when I'm packing 100 pounds or more, I actually prefer that. The way that the straps are set up with the load lifters, once you adjust it to your body, I was able to get good coverage against the edge of my shoulder here. I did have a slight gap down at the bottom, but I'm a skinnier guy. That kind of happens to me on most packs. One thing I did change is the location of the hip belt from the factory. It came a little bit too high, but luckily pretty easy to take this all apart and adjust it. So I adjusted that hip belt down just a bit, and that brought the lumbar pad up a little higher on my back, and that felt a lot better for me. You do have these tensioners on your hip here, and that's just going to kind of help secure the load, keep it from shifting when you're heavy. I love that. I think that's a feature you should always look for in a pack. You do have MOLLE panel here for all the different accessories they offer. You can get a scabbard, you can get water bottle holsters, hip pockets, all sorts of stuff. It also works with their lid. The 3500 doesn't come with the lid, the 7000 does. The lid just clips into these two loops down here, so you can run the pack without it as well. And I feel like it's pretty good lid design. I like the large zipper, so you're able to actually access what you have inside of here. It expands plenty, and then there's a smaller pocket as well with a little stretchy on it, but it's still big enough to use. It's not some tiny little thing that you could only fit your tags in. The only thing I'm not sure I love about this lid is the fact that it doesn't connect quite so tight up against the frame. Now when your pack is full, it's going to push this lid up higher, and so it'll ride on top of the bag, and that's going to be great. But when it's empty, it does kind of hang down a bit, so if you're putting heavy weight in this lid, it is going to push it out just a little. The last thing I'll mention with this pack that stood out to me is the build quality and feel of the materials. So I feel like Eberlestock has done a pretty good job of that in the past, and this one's no exception. It's all very durable feeling fabric with good stitching. There's nothing that I see that seems unfinished, and also nothing I see that I'm like, oh, that might not be quite, reinforced enough. This pack feels pretty dang solid. And like I said, I've been packing 90 pounds in this one, and you'll probably notice pretty quick if you feel any weak spots with that kind of weight on a pack, and so far it's been good. That's about all I can say right now, given my limited use with the product so far. I do plan to take it to Alaska on a moose hunt, which should be about the ultimate test, so we'll see how it goes. We do sell these packs at gearful.com. They're available right now. If you like the video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and check out some of our other pack reviews. We are definitely going to be including the Eberlestock in this year's pack comparison, so watch for that too.